It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from 7 Brothers Brewing Company, and this is a can of their throwaway IPA. It's an IPA coming in at 5% ABV in a 440ml can. It's brewed in Salford in Manchester. I picked this up in Asda for £3 for the can of beer. And what's really interesting about this beer is it's been brewed with Kellogg's cornflakes. Kellogg's cornflakes that probably didn't make it into the box. They weren't quite right for the box. So rather than throw them away, 7 Brothers have taken them and brewed a beer out of them. Some of you new to beer might need me to slightly explain this to you, and then there'll be some of you who are thinking, you know, you're home brewers and you're thinking, what a cracking idea, what a fantastic idea. So basically, of course, we all know that beer, well, I hope you know, that beer is made from malt, grains, corn. Very similar to how they make cornflakes. Cornflakes without being made from malt and grain. It's made from corn, which is a type of grain. And everybody uses malts and grains and corns just to extract some colour from the beer, but most importantly, sugar. They extract the sugar from the malt. The yeast then eats the sugars and poos out its backside some alcohol, and then there we have beer. That magic thing that's beer. So rather than throw away all this lovely corn that doesn't make it into the box of a Kellogg's cornflake, yeah, they've taken it and they've used it and they've recycled it. I think they've used the word upcycled. Whatever, in it. I mean, you can either use recycled, upcycled, whatever you choose to use. It's all a good cause. I think it's a really good cause. Slightly hazy, straw-coloured beer, corn-coloured beer. 1 to 2 finger white head. Let's get the aroma. Now you could be drawn in here, you could be drawn into trying to find the Kellogg's cornflakes in this beer, but you're probably never going to find it. You're never going to find it because all the brewer's looking to do is extract the sugar. You might get a little flavour, but that's going to come through as a corn flavour, not a cornflake flavour. What I get is a little bit of zesty lemon. A little bit of citrus, a little bit of orange peel. Let's dive in. Let's reserve judgment until we taste it. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. Very clever. Very, very clever. But I think for the craft beer drinkers in us, they've been very clever here, 7 Brothers Brewing Company. Because you can taste a lot of corn. You can taste a lot of corn. But you can't really taste much else. It's not like... My issue... Let's go to the issue. My issue here is that they've called it an IPA. Why not call it throwaway ale? Throwaway ale or throwaway beer. The issue with calling it an IPA is that IPAs, especially American IPAs, New World British IPAs, New England IPAs, all these wonderful kind of beer styles, is that they're generally very hoppy. They're very, very hoppy. They're full of passion fruit and mango and grapefruit and fleshy blood and orange peel and tangerine flavours and kiwi fruit, and it's like sticking your face in a punch bowl of fruit. You're getting exactly the opposite from here. You're just getting a beer that's made from corn. And it some of you might be thinking, well, duh, it's made from cornflakes. And I totally get that. But it's so bland. It's so bland. If they call it cornflake real ale, cornflake ale, cornflake beer, then I would be completely on board with it. I'd be on board and I'd be going, congratulations, Seven Brothers Brewing Company. You've done a great thing here, recycling corn, and you can taste lots of corn in the beer. But not much else. The fact that they called it an IPA, who in the marketing department of Seven Brothers Brewing Company thought, I know, we'll keep up with the newfangled breweries and we'll call this an IPA and we'll get away with this. Why have they chosen to go down that road? Or if they did choose to go down that road, why didn't they bang a load of hops in? I'll tell you for why. This beer cost me £3 a can. No doubt, using the word Kellogg's on the back of this can probably cost Seven Brothers Brewing Company a lot of money just to put the word Kellogg's on the back of this can. And there was no room for the hops. Because some of the money has gone to put the word Kellogg's on the back of the can. So we're back to that point then, aren't we, of if you can't put hops in the beer because you're sending all your money off to Kellogg's, then why don't you just call it a throwaway ale, a throwaway beer? That would work. That would really work. The biggest mistake of this beer is the fact that they put IPA on the back of this can, because one thing's for certain, absolute certain, whilst drinking this beer, is that it is not an IPA. It really isn't an IPA. There's no hop. There's no hop taste at all here. It's all corn. So, again, how many times have I said this on the channel? The marketing department have had their way. They've had their way. They've gone, I know, we'll sell this as an IPA. And oh my goodness me, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Just call it a blooming ale. Call it for what it is. Why have you got to call it something which it is clearly not? It's clearly not an IPA. I like the concept. I like the execution. I don't like the name of the beer style. I'm conflicted because I want to say fantastic. We're reusing Kellogg's cornflakes, but I can say, yeah, fantastic in that department. But what I can say is that it's a fantastic IPA, because it's not. It's just not. It's a million miles away from being an IPA. It's just a corn ale. Change the name to ale or beer, Or put a load of hops in it, call it an IPA, but charge £4 a can for it. Don't muddle round in the middle ground, you know, just like rolling round in the mud, not knowing what you're blooming doing. Because you know what you're doing. Seven Brothers Brewing Company. I just find it so blooming frustrating. Because I really got excited for this beer. I really picked it up and was like, oh, yes, cornflake beer. This is going to be good. But it's just turned out to be a cornflake beer with no hops in it. For me, it's a 5 out of 10. It's a 5 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.